Up,
Then
down.
me.
Take a
Up,
step, take a
down.
step. That's it,
There.
that's
There
it.
you...
I got something to tell you. Arlene and I have to get a divorce. He was a strict Freudian, and if I'd been going all this time, I'd probably almost be cured by now.
In 1973, Woody Allen made a comedy that wasn't supposed to be a documentary. But here's what nobody tells you. 3 of the joke technologies in Sleeper are now sitting in your home. 2 of the futuristic predictions came true, word for word. And 1 scene, cut from every TV broadcast for 50 years, contains something the studio absolutely did not want you to see. This isn't another fun facts video. What we found goes deeper. There's a reason Disney buried the original script. There's a reason cast members refused to talk about certain scenes. And one question, was Woody Allen predicting the future? Or was someone telling him what was coming? Today, we're unlocking 25 hidden details, forgotten scenes, buried references, and decades-old secrets that even hardcore fans missed about Sleeper. Some were covered up, others were misunderstood, and a few were never meant to be found at all. Number 1. Sleeper was originally planned as a massive 2-part epic before the studio cut it down. Most people think Sleeper was always meant to be a fast, 87-minute sci-fi comedy, but behind the scenes, the original plan was almost unrecognizable. Woody Allen and Marshall Brickman first imagined the story as a huge 2-part film running close to 3 hours, with an entire extended future history that never made it to screen. Early drafts included a long, unsettling sequence showing Miles entering the 1970s clinic, slowly losing consciousness, and waking up over a century later in a deliberately disorienting montage meant to mirror time ripping itself apart. There were full acts that explored the health food riots, the government's authoritarian rise, and the entire Ares Project timeline. When the studio demanded a shorter film, entire storylines were stripped out, leaving behind this compressed, lightning-fast version that still feels like it's bursting at the seams. On set, Allen pushed for single-take gags and physical humor that felt chaotic and improvised, injecting silent film energy into the futuristic world. The result is a movie that moves like it's trying to escape from the larger epic it was originally designed to be. And once you know what was supposed to happen next, the pace suddenly feels deliberate, because it was. Number 2. The bubble cars look cute, but the truth behind them nearly shut down filming. Those little futuristic bubble cars zipping across the landscape look harmless and quirky, but behind the scenes they were a constant disaster. They weren't real vehicles, they were lightweight shells attached to unstable motorized bases that shook, stalled, or veered off in random directions. More than once, cast members dove out of the way as a bubble car drifted toward cameras or lighting rigs. The production wanted these cars to look effortless, smooth, and silent, the perfect transportation of the future. But because the machines were so unreliable, the actors learned to subtly brace themselves when riding them, which is why the scenes feel slightly tense even at their funniest. That tension wasn't acting, it was survival instinct. What's wild is that the production team loved the unpredictability. The chaos made the future feel more alive, like the society had shiny toys but barely understood how to control them. That idea ties directly into the next layer of the film's world building. One most fans miss entirely, because if the technology wasn't stable, you won't believe who designed it. Number 3. The voice behind the evil computer carries a secret link most fans never noticed. There's a moment in Sleeper where the central computer speaks with this cold, emotionless tone that instantly shifts the mood of the film. It hits like a sudden blast of dystopia inside all the humor, and for decades fans wondered why that voice felt so familiar. The secret is that the production intentionally modeled the computer's personality after the eerily calm style of classic sci-fi AI voices that dominated the genre, voices that made machines sound more human than humans. During early tests, the crew experimented with different vocal styles, some too robotic and others too comedic, but none of them created the unsettling contrast the film needed. So they leaned into that slow, calculated delivery that feels like it's evaluating your every move. When Miles tries to interact with it, there's this uncomfortable silence between lines, almost like the machine is thinking about whether he deserves an answer. That pause wasn't accidental. The production added those gaps to make the computer feel unpredictable. And that unpredictability becomes crucial later on, because it hints at a government system that isn't just authoritarian. It's quietly omnipresent. Once you catch that detail, a lot of the movie's jokes suddenly feel like warnings. And the next secret pushes that warning into a whole new direction. Number 4. the futuristic house that was never built for movies but became the film's most iconic location. When Miles steps into that curved, glass-walled home in the mountains, it feels like a pure sci-fi set. The fact is, the house wasn't built for Hollywood. The entire structure is a real house perched above Denver, a bizarre piece of futuristic architecture called the Sculptured House. The production team found it almost by accident while scouting for locations that didn't require expensive set building. When Allen walked inside, he reportedly said, "We don't need to change anything. This is already the year 2173. Filming there wasn't as smooth as it looks. Actors slipped on the polished floors, cameras kept catching reflections in the curved glass, and the crew had to haul equipment up narrow pathways because the house sits on a steep cliffside. But the design itself became part of the film's rhythm. Look at the scene where Miles, still confused after waking up, wanders through those strange corridors like he's inside a giant sculpture. The emptiness of the rooms made his awkwardness funnier, his movements more exaggerated, his confusion more believable. And the next secret digs right into that evolution. Number 5. The health food gag. That wasn't just comedy, but a warning about the future. The Happy Carrot health food store in Sleeper plays like a throwaway joke. A tiny shop selling bland, supposedly perfect meals in a world that worships nutrition like a religion. But this joke had teeth. In early drafts, the health food obsession was meant to be the film's sharpest satire, mocking the rising wellness craze of the early 70s. The crew even built full aisles of bizarre future snacks, vitamin-packed cubes, and flavorless substitute foods that were filmed but never shown. Look closely at the moment Miles walks through the store for the first time. The customers move in stiff patterns, like they're following instructions rather than instincts. The shelves are organized with eerie precision, every label identical, every product promising long life but offering no joy. Behind the scenes, Allen told the set designers to make the store look so healthy it's depressing, pushing the idea that obsession with perfection leads to conformity. The gag becomes sharper when Miles bites into a nutrient bar and looks horrified, because suddenly the audience feels it too. That creeping sense that a world obsessed with health might lose touch with everything that makes life fun. And the next detail takes that theme even further. Number 6. The robot disguise scene was meant as comedy but carries a hidden message. One of the funniest scenes in Sleeper is Miles disguising himself as a robot servant, complete with stiff movements, metallic stuttering, and a constant fear of malfunctioning in front of people who think he's a machine. But the humor only works because of something deeper. The robots in the film weren't designed as goofy props. They were built to represent how dehumanized the future had become. During production, the costume team intentionally made the robot suits awkward and restrictive, so the actors had to move like malfunctioning appliances. When Miles is ordered to serve food or carry out chores, every gesture looks wrong, every step slightly delayed, like he's fighting against the suit itself. The crew leaned into that discomfort. They wanted the audience to feel the pressure building, as Miles pretends to be something he's not, in a world that treats machines better than humans. There's a moment in the kitchen where Miles freezes as the other robots line up in perfect formation. That tension was filmed multiple times to capture the most uncomfortable version. And once you notice that, the next secret hits even harder. Number 7. The box office reaction revealed something the studio never expected. When Sleeper hit theaters, the studio braced for confusion. They thought audiences wouldn't know what to make of a film that mixed slapstick, dystopia, romance, and deep satire. But what actually happened shocked them. Instead of pushing people away, the bizarre blend pulled crowds in. Viewers found themselves laughing at scenes that were unsettling, and thinking about scenes that were supposed to be simple jokes. The box office wasn't just solid, it was strategic. The movie found traction in college towns, art house theaters, and cities known for experimental audiences. People watched it multiple times, trying to catch details they missed. The studio had accidentally made a thinking person's comedy, and they didn't realize it until the numbers came in. But here's where things get interesting. The film's success created pressure to expand the world, continue the story, maybe even build a franchise. Yet that never happened. And the reason why connects directly to the next secret, something that shaped the entire legacy of Sleeper. Number 8. The silent era comedy nods aren't just references, they shape the entire rhythm of the future. A lot of viewers laugh at the slapstick in Sleeper without realizing what they're actually watching, a full-blown tribute to early film legends hidden inside a futuristic world. Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd. Their fingerprints are all over the movie. But here's the twist. These influences weren't added for nostalgia. They were added to make the future feel broken. Allen believed that if a man from the past suddenly woke up 200 years later, he would experience the world the same way silent film characters navigated chaos, constantly dodging danger, misunderstanding technology, and stumbling through disasters. So the team built sequences around physical timing instead of dialogue. Look at the scene where Miles tries to operate the household gadgets. The machines respond too fast, too slow, or in ways no sane person would expect, turning him into a human version of a Keaton routine. Behind the scenes, the crew rehearsed those moments like choreography. Every slip, crash, or malfunction was timed to milliseconds, so it played like comedy but felt like the world itself was rejecting him. That friction keeps the film's energy spiking. And the next secret reveals the gag that pushed that tension to its absolute limit. Number 9. The Orgasmatron was never meant to be a joke. It was based on a real experiment that disturbed the crew. The Orgasmatron might be Sleeper's most infamous moment. A shiny booth that promises instant pleasure with the push of a button. Audiences laugh, the scene goes viral every few years, and it's easy to assume it's just a wild 1970s gag. But the truth behind it is way stranger. The concept was loosely inspired by a machine created by a controversial scientist who believed human emotions could be manipulated using controlled physical stimuli. When the art department showed the designs to the cast, some of them didn't believe it was based on anything real. But it was, and that detail changed everything. Instead of playing the scene as pure comedy, Allen wanted Miles's first moment inside the booth to carry a hint of unease, excitement, mixed with disbelief. Notice how Miles hesitates. Notice how the camera lingers just a little too long before the machine activates. The humor hits, but there's this unnerving undertone that the future has replaced real intimacy with something cold and manufactured. The crew filmed several versions of that moment, from exaggerated slapstick to subtle discomfort. The version in the movie hits the perfect middle point, funny enough to make audiences laugh, eerie enough to make them uneasy. And that combination becomes the turning point of the film's entire tone. Number 10. The deleted chase scenes would have changed the entire tone of the movie. Most fans never realized Sleeper originally had 2 massive action sequences that were cut so late in editing the soundtrack had already been finalized. One was a chaotic chase involving a giant mechanical chicken, and the other was a surreal, oversized chess match, where Miles was supposed to dodge life-sized pieces trying to crush him. These weren't small trims, they were full set pieces, designed to push the film into pure sci-fi absurdism. On set, the crew built a huge foam chicken operated by multiple puppeteers, but the thing moved unpredictably, swerving off course and nearly knocking over lighting rigs. The chess sequence was even more complicated, with enormous prop pieces rolling and tipping like boulders, forcing actors to jump out of the way. Both scenes were visually impressive, but slowed the pacing, so they were cut to keep the movie tight and relentless. Yet shadows of those scenes remain. The frantic energy of Miles's escapes, the strange mechanical creatures, the unpredictable world, all of it feels like echoes of these deleted moments. And cutting them was a blessing in disguise, because the movie became sharper, quicker, and far more iconic. But the next secret reveals a shift in the film that no deleted scene could explain. Number 11. The future's healthy versus unhealthy rules were originally reversed as a social experiment. There's a moment in Sleeper when characters claim tobacco and fat are healthy, while fruits and vegetables are dangerous. It's funny now, but the idea came from something far stranger. During early rehearsals, the cast was told to deliver those lines with complete seriousness. Because the joke wasn't the claim, it was how confidently society embraced it. The production explored how easily a civilization could flip its values if an authority figure rewrote the rules. In this world, health didn't mean what was good for you. It meant what the government told you was good. That's why every character repeats the same nutritional nonsense like they're quoting a manual. Look at Miles's expression when they tell him steak is medicine. He's not just confused, he's terrified. Because the future isn't just absurd, it's built on blind obedience. Number 12. The clone nose plot twist was supposed to expose the dark heart of this society. The film's most bizarre twist, a government cloning a dictator from a surviving nose, wasn't written as pure comedy. It was a symbolic punchline meant to reveal how dehumanized the future had become. The idea was that the government didn't care about people, only power. If all they had left was a nose, they'd use it. Originally, the script included a chilling scene where scientists debated whether they even needed the entire nose or if a single cell would do. But that scene was cut to avoid slowing the pace. And when Miles realizes this entire high-tech operation is centered around a tiny body part, the comedy sharpens into something darker, and the next secret pushes us even deeper into the unsettling design of this future. Number 13. The film's futuristic architecture was built from real 1970s fears about what cities would become. The sleek domes, curved structures, and bright white interiors in Sleeper weren't created from imagination. They came from real futurist predictions about cities becoming sterile, hyper-controlled environments. The production team grabbed inspirations from experimental architecture journals, using designs that emphasized smooth surfaces, minimal decoration, and spaces that felt too perfect to be human. That's why every building in the film looks beautiful but uncomfortable. The curved hallways make characters walk differently. The open white rooms make every movement feel exposed. Even the chairs and tables seem slightly wrong, like they were designed by someone who had never actually sat in one. During filming, actors complained about how inhuman the furniture felt. That wasn't a mistake. The team deliberately wanted the environment to reject the characters. In one scene, Miles tries to sit on a sculpted chair and nearly slides off because it wasn't shaped for humans. That awkwardness wasn't staged. It happened naturally, and the crew kept it because it matched the film's message. Number 14. The story's true villain was never the government. Most viewers assume the oppressive government is the main antagonist, but the deeper threat throughout Sleeper is the technology that quietly controls every aspect of life. Machines track citizens, monitor health, regulate emotion, dictate behavior, and even decide what's good or bad. The production team wanted the technology to feel polite on the surface, but unnervingly intrusive underneath. Look at the household gadgets. They never malfunction by accident. They malfunction because the user isn't conforming. When Miles tries to use the food machine, it doesn't just go wrong, it punishes him for not understanding the rules. And once you see that pattern, the entire world changes. The real villain isn't a person, it's the system. And the next secret takes that threat to a whole new level. Number 15. The surprising influence of real sci-fi thinkers who quietly shaped the world of Sleeper. Woody Allen didn't want his utopian gone-wrong society to be random jokes stitched together. He wanted it grounded in believable sci-fi logic. To achieve that, he consulted futurists and scientific advisors who helped craft ideas like robotic assistance, state-controlled medicine, cryonic revival technology, and even early identity tracking concepts. This is why so many elements of the film feel strangely accurate decades later. The Orgasmatron parody has roots in real fringe technology theories. The domed cities echo real 1970s futurist predictions. Even the way citizens are monitored reflects early discussions of digital surveillance. On set, Allen reportedly bounced between directing slapstick sequences and discussing genuine technological possibilities, creating this odd fusion of futurism and comedy. Number 16. The man behind the futuristic costumes became a Hollywood legend. One of the strangest behind-the-scenes secrets is that a young, unknown designer named Joel Schumacher worked on the film's costumes before he became a major Hollywood director. He wasn't given a big office or a large team. He was given a box of shiny fabrics, impossible deadlines, and a challenge. Make the future look both ridiculous and sophisticated. Schumacher leaned into the oddity. Those oversized collars, shimmering tunics, and plastic-textured jumpsuits weren't accidents. They were deliberate exaggerations, designed to make everyone look like they were trying too hard to fit into a society that didn't make sense. But here's the real kicker. Schumacher's costume philosophy accidentally connected Sleeper to a much older sci-fi story, one that predicted the same kind of world decades earlier. And that connection leads us directly into the next secret. Number 17. Sleeper quietly echoes a 1910 sci-fi novel that predicted a controlled future too accurately. Most viewers don't know Sleeper has a literary ancestor. That novel followed a man who falls asleep and wakes up in a future where society is rigid, over-organized, and controlled by elite groups. A man trapped in a time he doesn't understand, navigating technology that pushes him around like a piece on a board. But instead of turning it into a grim dystopia, they filtered it through comedy. The result is a world that feels fun on the surface and deeply unsettling beneath it. Once you see that connection, the film shifts. It becomes clear that the humor isn't random. It's a mask for a future built on systems that run without questioning. And those systems don't just trap Miles, they trap everyone. And that's why the next secret hits with full force. Number 18. The movie's relevance today isn't accidental. It predicted trends we're living with right now. Here's the part that surprises almost every viewer. Sleeper accidentally predicted aspects of modern life with eerie accuracy. From automated assistants that misinterpret commands, to health trends that shift overnight, to governments using technology to guide behavior, the film's jokes now feel less like comedy and more like prophecy. The strangest part? The filmmakers didn't intend to predict anything. They simply took real social habits of the time and exaggerated them. Society ended up catching up to the exaggeration. And once you realize how much the film foresaw, the remaining secrets start to feel more like clues on what the filmmakers were really trying to say. Number 19. Why the film's wild jazz soundtrack makes the future feel even stranger. While most sci-fi films reached for eerie synths or orchestral tension, Sleeper blasts you with bouncy, chaotic Dixieland jazz. At first, it feels almost too playful for a dystopian future, but that was exactly the trick. Woody Allen wanted the future to feel broken in a funny way, like society had tried so hard to reinvent itself that it accidentally looped back to an outdated musical style. During editing, the jazz sessions were so energetic that long sequences had to be trimmed because the music overpowered the visual gags. Picture the scene where Miles tries to escape the medical facility after waking up, alarms blaring, guards scrambling, and this frantic jazz number turning the chaos into a full-blown cartoon chase. The music was intentionally mismatched to build tension and humor at the same time, creating this off-balance feeling that keeps the pace flying. Number 20. The abandoned sequel plans reveal a story the studio was too afraid to tell. What most people don't know is that Sleeper almost had a sequel. Early talks explored the idea of Miles trying to adjust to life in the new world after the rebellion. But the tone would have changed, less slapstick, more direct confrontation with the frightening parts of the future. The studio loved the comedy, but wasn't confident the audience was ready for the darker commentary hiding under it. There was even a rough outline that imagined Miles becoming a reluctant cult hero, with citizens viewing him as the man from the pure past. But the further writers explored this future, the more it stopped being funny. This is why the deeper you look into the world of Sleeper, the less comedic it becomes. And that tension is exactly what leads us into the next secret, which reveals the hidden heartbeat behind the film's entire aesthetic. Number 21. The movie's strange, rebellious theme song was recycled from an earlier film for a very specific reason. There's a rebellious melody that plays during Miles's escape scenes, a playful, upbeat tune that doesn't match the seriousness of the moment. Most viewers chalk it up to simple comedy scoring. But here's the twist. That theme wasn't written for Sleeper at all. It was borrowed from an earlier film because the director wanted Miles to feel like a character trapped between two genres, two timelines, two realities. Instead of composing something futuristic or grand, the team reused a familiar, almost nostalgic tune to signal that Miles was carrying the past with him, a past the future world didn't understand. Every time that theme plays, it's like the past is leaking into the future, refusing to be overwritten, and that rebellion leads straight into the next secret, which exposes the real message hiding inside the film's humor. Number 22. The ridiculous social trends in the movie were really warnings about the 1970s. A lot of viewers laugh at the exaggerated social trends in Sleeper. The obsession with wellness, the worship of convenience, the disappearance of critical thinking. But these weren't just jokes. They were commentary on the direction the world was already heading at the time. The film took real movements and pushed them just a few inches forward. The exaggeration made it funny, but the accuracy made it frightening. It's why so many jokes in the movie feel more relevant now than they did in 1973. The world didn't reject those habits. We embraced them. And once you realize the film was speaking to its own era, you start to see the final secrets in a new light. Not as trivia, but as warnings the filmmakers never expected to age so well. Number 23. The real reason Sleeper never got a modern remake, and why Hollywood keeps backing away. You'd think a movie as imaginative and influential as Sleeper would have been remade by now, especially in an era obsessed with nostalgia. But the truth is, multiple studios have tried, and every attempt has collapsed. The problem isn't rights, or money, or casting. The problem is tone. Producers discovered something uncomfortable. If you remake Sleeper today and stay faithful to its ideas, it stops being funny. The jokes about blind obedience, reversed health rules, and tech-driven control is the road that leads us home now, leading us directly into the next secret. Number 24. How Sleeper became a cult favorite for retro sci-fi fans who saw something others missed. When retro sci-fi communities started revisiting old films, something unexpected happened. Sleeper began climbing lists, earning new recognition not for its jokes, but for how boldly it blended comedy with dystopia. Fans realized the movie wasn't just predicting gadgets, it was predicting behavior. Online forums, film societies, and sci-fi communities started dissecting scenes, comparing them to modern-day tech habits, virtual experiences replacing real intimacy, automation running lives, people trusting systems they don't understand. Suddenly, lines that once felt silly became prophetic, and this rediscovery unlocked the film's final hidden detail, one buried so casually in a scene that most people never noticed it. But once you see it, it reframes the entire story. Number 25. The final hidden detail most fans never notice. There's a tiny moment near the end of the film that almost everyone misses. As Miles navigates the government facility, one of the security doors flickers, jams, and resets briefly. It's a blink and you miss it glitch. But here's the secret. That wasn't scripted. It wasn't a joke. The prop door actually malfunctioned during filming. The crew kept it because it unintentionally revealed something crucial about the world they had built. The future wasn't working. The machines weren't perfect. The society wasn't stable. The system was already breaking down under its own weight. It's the film's quietest secret, but also its most powerful one. Because once you see that door twitch, the entire world of Sleeper suddenly feels like a system on the verge of falling apart. And that final realization sets up the perfect closing message. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden secrets, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Vintiverse for more deep dives just like this one. And click one of the videos on your screen right now. There's another story waiting, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's inside it.